There we go. Okay, I think I'm live. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. Here we go again with stuff on the glasses. Alien disclosure. Huh. What do you all think is going on with the alien disclosure? So now they come out with the pastors saying the government contacted them and we aren't ready. Some of us are ready. We've been there a while. Been investigating for years. Like the picture that I put up for my, I don't know, thumbnail. It's me and my good friend James Fox, and we were doing chasing UFOs. And that was like 2011 or 2012 when that was taken. We were having pizza, enjoying the evening after chasing the UFOs all day long. But that's my thumbnail, just to show that I've been doing this for a long time. But this alien disclosure, what's next? What do we think's going to happen? Are the people going to freak out? What are they exactly? Are they from another planet, another galaxy? Are they interdimensional and from another galaxy or another planet close by? Let's explore this. So, a little bit of background. I hang out with alien abductees. And probably right around 2013 and 2014. Hi, Lisa. How are ya? My voice might be a little bit messed up, so forgive me. But I hang out with some of my best friends are alien abductees. And one of my very, very best friends, you all know Adolf and 101102. But I've interviewed quite a few alien abductees. Even a whole family were being abducted. And I don't know how many people that seen UFOs and Bigfoots and Dogman and you name it, right? Over the years. Aliens was all they were one of the top things to talk about. And I think it's the most misunderstood topics. And sometimes I don't understand on the abductee part. Usually it's frightening, and they're not nice to the people. But they have the ability to wipe your mind or put false memories in there. But I did an experiment. Like let's explore. Are they from another planet? Or I do think that they're interdimensional. Some of them, maybe most of them. And I think they're not really from another universe or another planet. They've been here for a long time, and we have books that talk about them. You can read the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jasher, and when they talk about the fallen ones, that's what we're talking about for reals. That's them. They back in history, when you read about Noah and the days of Noah, what was going on. They were messing around with the DNA. They were creating chimera, like maybe Dogman, right? That big hairy creature that Enkidu, I think his name was, Enkidu. And he was like a Bigfoot. So these stories, they go back a long time. And it's actually It's actually what they are, not what we're being told. It's like a big deception. I know a lot of people won't agree with me, but you should look into it. Don't just take the word from me or anyone online. Do your own research, and I would ask Jesus. I would talk to Jesus about this. It's serious. It's serious, and people are going to freak out because it's not good, right? They're not good. They never were good. When you research back, way back, you find they weren't good. Like if you go to South America, to the pyramids in South America, and you look at what the scientists have learned and the archaeologists, it's aliens, reptilian, and what are they doing over there? What are they doing? They're sacrificing humans, virgins. Just like today, they're doing the same thing. Nothing's new under the sun. It's all been before. And they find this stuff in Mexico. And then let's go back to Egypt, way back. Let's go way back. Sumerian and all that. Reptilian again, right? Elongated skulls, reptilian, alien-looking things. The same descriptions we get today. They're here, they've been here. They were here before us. They were created before us. And then you wonder, why do they have such an interest in us, right? What's the big deal? Why are they hanging around? Why are they interfering? Why are they abducting? Why are they playing with everybody's DNA? What's going on with that, right? The reason is when they were created to do things for God. God created them and us, right? He created them to tell them to do this or do that, or tell this or say that, and like warrior type thing. But they weren't created to hang out with God and sit and chat like we are right now and explore ideas and have a sense of humor and just think how you are every day. Think of a God that is like that you can sit and chat like that, where he can't do that with the angels. So he created us as close to like him as of any creation that he made to hang out with. When you go back into reading in Genesis and you look up the fallen ones and their offspring, when they found the women, the humans, and what they did. And then you read about when he created Adam, what was he doing with Adam? Hanging around in the Garden of Eden and naming everything on the earth. And the earth was Adam's. He gave Adam the earth. So we inherit the earth. We were created to hang out, enjoy God. Man, I just saw a huge mosquito fly by. I hope he doesn't come back. So we're created to hang out with them. That made these other created beings that he created kind of jealous. They're like, hey, that's not fair. Like, we want to hang out, we want to do that, but they don't have it in them. They weren't created with it, so they don't have the creative abilities like we have. Like, you ever wonder why you get a hobby and you like to create things and make things and express yourself in art, in writing, in thoughts, in videos? Like, that's how we're like God. They're not like that. They don't have that. They want that. Or they want to keep God from having that. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to destruct the human race and get them away from that. They don't want any God having a relationship with us. That they want us to worship them and glorify them and do all these nasty things that we've been learning as we research over the years. And I'm not just talking about in the Bible, I'm talking about archaeology and even stories today, what people are saying. And I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me. Like I seen Bigfoot in 1987 and deer hunting in 87. It scared me and changed my world. I didn't go in the mountains for 6 years. I have never hunted again except for hunting them, right? And other paranormal things. When we got the DNA and when I started researching the DNA, I found out there's something, there's a clue to who they are, where they came from. Their mom, or on their mom's side, is human. On the dad's side, it's unknown what that DNA is. I'm not saying they don't have more of that DNA. They do. They find it all over. But it's unidentified. They haven't identified that DNA that they keep finding. It's unidentified. And if you go into the Bible again, I mean, you got to go back and you have to look at these things. You have to research. You can't just form an opinion based on what you hear people saying, right? You have to research this for yourself, and you have to pray about it. Like, we should be praying about everything, absolutely everything. And one of the things you'll find right away is what we've been told. And I know a lot of people say, well, the Bible isn't correct and it's been tampered with. Yeah, it's mostly been deleted. A lot of books have been deleted. Only you can go to older books in different countries that tell the same story of Noah and the flood and these entities, giants and reptilians and dragons. You know, I mean, you can go back in history and you can track that. It's the same thing. We just call it aliens today. It's the same thing, though. And archaeology backs that up. If you look, archaeology has those things. Like, go look up India and they have the Nalgas, right? The seven-headed snake, a reptilian again. And all that stuff over there is coming from the reptilians. And the very first thing that God talks about who caused the curse of the human flesh? It was the serpent, right? Another reptilian. That it goes back. All this stuff goes way back, and you can go in different cultures. I'm not just talking about the Bible. I'm talking about archaeology, different cultures, and you can't really look at the scientists' time frames for things like dinosaurs. I don't think the dinosaurs were that long ago of what they're saying. I think that was killed with the flood. I think that was some DNA being messed with, along with, the centaur and all the pictures you see in Egypt with the bird, the ibis head, and a human body, an alligator head, a dogman head. All through history, you read about these things. You read about dragons in Asia, dragons in Europe, dragons in South America. They call them different names, but they're all the same thing. You just got to research. So here we are. The government, and this is no secret to a lot of us. Like James Fox, he's been chasing this stuff for a long time and researching. He's more in, like right now he's Virginia, is that how you say it? And the little alien that came out of that, the little grays. I'm not saying I have all the answers and I know everything, but I might be a little more informed than the average Joe that's just now, it's been on TV. They've done movies. I mean, like when I was a kid, we watched the Jetsons. Right? We're seeing, they've been telling us kind of like in the movies, right? There's all kinds of reptilians and movies that talked about it. Like the one Jeff talks about, Jupiter Ascending, V for Vendetta. I mean, it goes back, right? The Outer Limits had some of that kind of stuff. Cartoons had all this stuff. Remember the Slee Stacks? They've been like getting us ready for this. They've been getting us ready for this. And here it comes, like right now, like I think before July 4th, they're going to come out with this. Here they are now calling meetings with, why did they call the meeting with the Christians? Why didn't they call all the governors and mayors to a meeting and tell them, hey, you need to talk to your people, right? The people they're over geographically. Why did they pick out the preachers first? It's because the Christians are going to freak out because all this is, they don't want to admit this stuff. It's probably going to upset their paradigm. But if they know the scriptures, it shouldn't upset anything. They should have put two and two together already. They should have read the Bible and looked at all the serpent stuff and the fallen angel and their offspring, and then put two and two together, like with the gods. What was it? Greek mythology. It's not mythology. The Greek gods are the fallen ones. And then these Greek gods, what did they do? They mated with the women, the earth women, and they made chimeras, right? Right on. Yeah, it's something to think about. And look at all the stuff they talk about in Greek mythology, and then don't call it mythology anymore. Call it stories of the Bible calls men of renown. They were on the earth and they did super duper stuff, right? They were giants. What does Greek mythology say? These guys were on the earth. They did super duper stuff like Superman, and they were giants. Call them titans, stuff like that. Think about it. Ask God to open your eyes. That's what I'm leading to. I'm if you watch L.A. Marzulli, he's been saying for a while now, when they come down, we go up. He's not far off. He's not far off. These things are going to come, that when they come out, they're going to tell you there's no God. There's no Jesus. They made up the story. Ouch. Mosquito came back. They made up this story, and everything you learned about Christianity is wrong. And a lot of people that have faith in God are going to lose their faith right then, because they really never had a relationship with God or Jesus. They hardly even talk to him. Hey, Kurt, what's up? My number one. What are you doing? Number one son. So I really think that that thing bit me good. I really think a lot of people that go to church and they have religion, but they don't really have spiritual anything, no relationship with Jesus. they really don't know how to pray because the churches don't really teach you how or what to do to pray. We really have a lot of authority. Since Jesus was on the cross, we actually have more authority than they teach us. They tell us that's gone, right? That died. That died with the apostles. No, it didn't. It didn't die with the apostles. I mean, look at music today. It's pretty dark, and some of it outright disgusting. Look at the movies. Pretty dark. A lot of it outright disgusting. How about games? Pretty dark, bloody, outright disgusting. And here they come. Hey, Vince, here they come. And they're going to tell us they seeded our planet. They created us. They gave us a story of God so that we had something, right? That we could have no idea why they're going to tell us that. Yeah, I'm slowly, man. I'm slowly getting there. It's getting better. I got some peach trees. I probably should show you guys. Maybe I'll grab it here and go check it out. But now you know. Hey, Della. Now I'm seeing, like, I caught Jessica a little while ago on a live. Usually I don't see the lives. I'm pretty busy, so. And I know a lot of you guys don't catch my lives either. That's all right, you know. Everybody's talking about it. Now the churches are talking about it because these pastors came out and they told the truth. And they said that these Congress people told them there's reptilians and they're interdimensional and they're going to show us ships and technology. And some people are going to say, well, the angels don't need technology. How do you know? The Bible talks about technology. What about Ezekiel? And so there's other places, the chariots, right? Man, check out like the History Channel with all that chariots of the gods, all this stuff they talk about, the aliens. That now you're getting to, they've been getting you ready, right? They've been getting everybody ready. There's no God. They created us. That's what ancient aliens, they seeded us. They're our thing. I don't think so. I really don't. I should talk about a little bit for me when in 1987. Okay, 1987. Not only did I see a Bigfoot, I went to Africa. I traveled in Africa. I encountered voodoo, witch doctor stuff. Like one day we were out in the bush, in the jungle for 2 weeks, going to these little villages. My job was to videotape everything. And what it was we were documenting, where did the money go? Where does the money go that this organization sends over there? How much of this makes it? What are they doing with it? Like documenting that. And they send hundreds of thousands of dollars a year over in these areas. And we were going and documenting that stuff. And one day we came in after 2 weeks in the jungle and dirt roads and everything is poor there. Everything. Even in the big cities, it's kind of poor compared to, you know, America and England and Holland and all that. They're really poor. Get ready. I don't think people are ready for that either. Even Christians, I don't even think they're ready for that. But we got over there, and then there was a hole in the floorboard right at my feet, and as we were going over these dirt roads, this red clay dust was just getting all over me. I was totally covered in it. There's no showers or anything anywhere, right? You have to take a sponge bath. Well, when we got back to our hotel, we were in Accra, in Ghana, Accra. That was our home base. From there, we went out And we would spend a couple of days, then we would go out somewhere else onto the high plains and different places. Well, we got back, and every beach is called Pleasure Beach, and it means clothes optional. And most over there, clothes are optional. Most of the time, there's none. So I didn't mind, you know. We got to the beach, and I had our driver take me to the beach, drop everybody at the hotel, take me to the beach, and I was going to go get in the water and wash off in the ocean and enjoy that warm, I think it was the Gulf of Guinea or something like that, and I got bit again. Well, I got out there, and I started checking my clothes. I was going to just stay in my whitey tighties, whatever you want to call it, right? And I'm running towards the water, losing clothes, and all of a sudden I hear all this commotion behind me, yelling and hollering, and it was getting louder, and I turned around, and it was a bunch of people coming after me with guns. And they come running up, and they have guns held. Oh my God, there's skeeters over there, really bad, man. And here I am complaining, right? They have clouds of them over there. But they're holding a gun to me, and they told me I can't get in the water. And I was like, but look at me, you know, I need to rinse off. And they told me the witch put a curse. And if anybody touches the water on Tuesday, that the fish will go away for a season, and they're not going to let me touch the water. I told them, well, I don't believe that stuff, you know. It didn't matter. If I went to go get in the water, they were going to shoot me immediately. No more questions, right? And I reluctantly obeyed. I mean, what are you going to do? They got guns, AK-47s aiming at you and stuff, you know, like you're not going to do it. I came back the next day, and I got in the water, and I had a great time, and there was a whole bunch of people in the water. And I talked to one of the guys with the guns, and he told me the witch put a curse, that they did something, and the witch put a curse on the fishermen. And if anybody touched the water on Tuesday, I don't know why Tuesday, that the fish would go away for a whole season, so they would starve. That was their way of getting food there. And so they're going to protect that beach, or all beaches along there on Tuesday, so nobody could get in the water. Nobody could get in the water. But that was my first. I always heard stories about stuff like that, about voodoo and witches and stuff like that, but I know people take it serious and stuff, but I didn't know they would kill you. You know, and it was like a big shocker. And then the next day I was fine, just on Tuesday. Just don't go to the beach on Tuesday. It was the weirdest thing. Then on the last night of this month and a half adventure in Ghana, really it was maybe almost 2 months, but I can't really remember now. I know it was weeks. I remember that really good, and sleeping in grass thatch huts in these little bitty villages, and at night the grass thatch hutch would come alive, you know, all this dust would come down on you, and I would wake up in the morning, there'd be a lizard on my pillow looking at me. I mean, all kinds of stuff, you know. There are other beings, but they're all from the same place. Even the angels, the good angels, they're still from God, just like us. We're all from the same place. So on the last night, and I didn't know anything about demons. I heard about it, people being possessed by demons. And on the last night, we were doing like a concert, and they were preaching. I was with these 7 preachers. It was a church organization that was sending the money over there, and they had a big concert. They brought in a bunch of guitars and different kinds of instruments that some drums, but all kinds of drums, right? Bongo type drums, instruments that we don't normally see here. They had over there, and they had a full band and singers, and so they did the preaching, and then they did a prayer line, right, where they told everybody to get in a line, and they were going to lay hands on people and pray for them. Okay, now I barely found God in April 26, 1986, and here we are, February and March, and I think it was more towards the end of March of 1987, so not quite a whole year that I've even known God, but learning. And a lot of the stuff I saw them do, I had no clue what was going on, like this laying hands on and stuff like that. I had no idea what they were doing, but I was interested because everywhere we went, they would do that. They would pray for everybody before they left. I do, and I'm working on that right now. I put an application on my phone, an app, so that I can do that, and also have guests and stuff, because I'd like to have James Fox call me up, or get a hold of some people I know and talk about this. Even though they might not believe like I believe, you have to take the meat and spit out the bones of what you want to believe. You take that and then forget the rest, right? Sure. You could send it to me in Messenger. I won't be able to do it today because I'm not on the app, but I will do that. And I'd even like to interview you and talk to you. But just remember, like, the smartest thing that you can do is talk to God, talk to Jesus. If you want Jesus' phone number, Jeremiah 3:33. Look that up. Jeremiah 3:33. And God tells you that he answers your call. So all you got to do is call out and start talking to him like I'm talking to you. He is good and faithful, and he will talk to you, and he will show you things. Okay, I've been ready for this. I've been feeling like we're at the end of the age for probably 3 years, and it's getting stronger and stronger. The evidence is coming in faster and faster. We're at the end of this. And it also says that, like the days of Noah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. And the coming of the Son of Man is the end of this age. And we're at the end of this age. We're getting ready to go into another 1,000-year age. Every age is 1,000 years. That's going to be the millennial kingdom on earth. We're not going to be hanging out in heaven. We're going to be here. This earth was created for us, and we're immortal. That's something they've told us we're not. We all die, right? You come in naked. You can't say, you don't get to pick your name. You don't get to pick what part of the earth you live in. You don't get to pick your parents. You don't get to pick your skin color. But here we are, right? Here we are on the earth, and this is where we're going to stay for a while. And if you read the book, you find that there's a 1,000-year reign, and then he finally, at the end of that, ultimately deals with the serpents. And then after that, a new heaven and a new earth. And then there we are again on the new earth. We stay. We're not going anywhere. We're staying here. This was created for us to enjoy and have. And it's the jewel of the universe, right? Jewel of the universe. They haven't found really another planet like this planet, which is very interesting. But here we are. I just wanted to put this out here because you're going to hear a lot of speculation. And it's going to come from all over the map. Even the Christian pastors aren't ready for this. Some are, but most of them, this is not on their radar. This is not on their radar. Demons even aren't on their radar. Like laying hands, having spirit-filled stuff is not on their radar. They think you go and repent, sing some songs, and then you go home and you're good for a week. You do whatever you want during the week. You can do that. And I'm not saying you can't do whatever you want. I'm saying you surely can. That's how God created us, right? To do whatever we want. But you'll know inside of you when you're over the line, when you step over the line or you're not doing something right. You don't need a Bible or a church or a pastor or even God to tell you. You already know inherently inside you if you're doing right or wrong. You know, everyone knows. It's no big secret. That's how we were created. He put it in us. Just like dogs and animals and stuff like that, they come out and they're little babies and they know immediately where to go hunt or go to eat, and they learn a little bit from their mom, but there's some things that they know right off the gate. No, weren't taught. Same as us. Same as us. We're no different. Only we've been lied to like crazy about the only truth out there that we have left, and it's been manipulated a little. Like mostly they subtracted books out of it, which tell more about what we're talking about, the Titans and the fallen ones, the Watchers, right? That is from God. He created them, but some of them decided to go, they want to be God. They want to be like God. They feel they're powerful, immortal. We should only fear one thing. We shouldn't fear anything except God. He's the only thing that can kill the spirit because he created it. Nothing, even the angels, even the demons, nothing can kill your spirit, but God can. And if you don't accept that, you don't have that fear of him, and you absolutely run through life and do what you know is bad, but you enjoy it, or whatever. One day you got to stand and account for what the things you do. And I wouldn't want to be in anybody's shoes that have to find out the hard way. Like they've been told and they had many opportunities to talk to God, talk to Jesus. And I'm not saying quit anything, absolutely not. I'm saying just accept him as our creator and that Jesus did what he did. That's it. And believe he'll help you change. You don't got to change. In fact, he says anything we do is imperfect. We can't do anything perfect. We can't please him in any way. He's not looking for us to please him. He's not looking for us to do anything. He doesn't want us. We can't. We're imperfect. So don't even try. Just accept that. And then accept him as helping you. And then when he helps you, it's done perfect. But you didn't do it. He did it in you. Right on, man. Right on, AC. Cool. I'll be showing that. I'll see what I could do. I've been working on it. I have a lot of stuff going on right now, though. I have a few leather projects. I'm still working on my giveaway for the channel, too. I'm still going to do that. I'm working on a new channel for the earthworm farm. I am going to do that. I had a good name for it, and then I researched and I found out it's already taken. Okay, cool. But yeah, here we are. We're at the end. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen now. It kind of goes along with L.A. Marzulli. When they come down, we go up. Because this is the days of Noah. Here it comes. Here comes the Titans. Here comes the Greek gods. Here they come. They're all coming back. The reptilians. And they're gonna be setting themselves up as the ones that made us, right? Manipulated the DNA and created us on this world. and forget there's no God, there's no Jesus, nobody's going to save you. I say don't listen. If you're confused or you're not sure, ask Jesus. Jeremiah 3:33, look it up. Jeremiah 3:33, call out to him, start asking him, ask for the truth. He will answer you. Honestly. Don't try to prove anything to him. Don't try to do something, try to behave and be good for him. You can't do it. You might as well just give up. Just accept him and let him work in you. Like for me, April 26, 1986, I was a raging alcoholic. I don't even remember most everything. That's how bad I was. I was drinking. Like, to tell you how bad is, when I got paid, I bought 7 pints of whiskey, put them in the freezer, and a bunch of beer, and put that in the fridge. Every night I would come home and I would down the pint of whiskey, nice and cold, right out of the freezer, not frozen because it's alcohol. And I would down that sucker. That was my primer, and then I would start drinking beer. And believe me, by the time I was getting towards the end of a 12-pack, I don't remember finishing the 12-pack, but I did. I did all kinds of other stupid shit. I was stupid. But God, He fixed me. April 26, 1986. I didn't do anything except call out to him, Jeremiah 3:33. Even though I didn't know Jeremiah 3:33 then, I just knew there had to be a God. If there wasn't, I was toast for the rest of my life, probably. Luckily, I wasn't toast. And since then, I've hung out with all these people like James Fox and Richard Keel, and I could go on, like a lot of people that singers, got a job straight with Steve Wynn out of Las Vegas, and everybody's like, oh yeah, you're full of shit. You think I would get on here and talk about something that somebody could probably, because these people are alive, somebody could go and get to know Steve Wynn or somebody that knows Steve Wynn and ask him, and he'll tell you, yeah, I remember that guy at the casino that I hired and wanted to work for me. And that's when that's when they blocked the artery in my right leg, put me in a wheelchair. I lost everything, lost my ranch, lost everything. Started me on a whole new life with nothing. I worked my butt off hard to get up there. Just like everybody else, you have dreams. I was you shoot for the moon, and then you wish you get as far as you can. If you're like me, and I believe anyone can, you'll go further. If you set your sights high, you might not make it to what you're aiming at, but you'll get further than anyone else that isn't aiming. Or if they're just aiming for where you are, they won't make it to there, right? Like you're not going to make it. I was making it. But I think God wanted me on this path that I'm on now. And I actually believe that. Like, He didn't want me going that way. I wouldn't know you guys wouldn't know me. I would have not had any time for any of this, of the things I've done in the last 20 years. It's amazing how I could see Him in everything, even the bad times. I could see what I learned, some of the things I learned. Well, here He comes. We're at the end of the age. We're almost exactly 2,000 years from His death. We're over 2,000 years from His birth. And He showed me a couple of years ago that the time from his time in the tomb, the 3 days, the time in the tomb represents what's going on right now. So the first day in the tomb is the first 1,000 years after His death. The second day in the tomb is the second day of His 1,000 years in the tomb. The third day represents the third 1,000 years after His death. We're now looking at the third day, the final 1,000 years. And what happened on the third day of him being in the tomb? He rose with his body, resurrected. That's what's going to happen now. He's coming back and taking his kingdom, and we'll have 1,000 years with him. I actually believe that when everybody calls it the rapture, whatever you want to call it, when this occurs, it says the dead in Christ will be raised first. It's like, what does that mean? To me, that means that all the people that was before us, their physical body is in the ground sleeping, but their spirit body is in the place you go, in the waiting place. Like, there's many names for it. You can look it up and find it out. On that day when he shouts and takes his kingdom back, all humans will resurrect. They will have their body resurrected to life, to immortality again. So the ones that are already dead and they're already separated, the graves are going to open up, and here comes their physical body reunited with their spirit body. Then those that remain alive, right, will be changed in a twinkling of an eye. It didn't say just the ones waiting on him or looking for him. It said those that remain, all those. So even the other people that don't accept any of this, and they rather be hanging out with the demons and doing that kind of witch and warlock stuff and voodoo and all that, they're going to change too. So everybody will have that resurrection body that he has. It's going to be very interesting, because it talks about in Revelation that these guys are going to be looking to die, but they can't die. They'll be praying for the rocks to fall on them from what they see coming on the earth. Their hearts will fail them, all kinds of stuff, right? Well, I think the hearts of failing them is before that change. But when they're praying for death and death doesn't come, that's after when the big change happens. But it won't last long. It only lasts 7 years. Should be pretty good. And I don't know, maybe you can be cut and bleed and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I don't know how it goes, but I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a big giant war. But God wins. Jesus wins. His blood is the currency that bought it all back. All the blood of the innocents and the virgins and all that, it is not as valuable as his blood, right? Yeah, it should be pretty good, right? Should be action-packed. So as we go from here, use Jeremiah 3:3. Call out to God and ask him to show you what's happening, the truth. Reveal the truth to you. And know that he will give it to you. There's going to be a huge deception. And a lot of people are going to fall for the narrative that they created us. And I know a lot of people are excited for the golden age and all that they're promising that. Med beds, all this stuff, right? Being robbed. They're going to tell you a lot of stuff. It's going to sound really good. But that's a lie. The real blessing in golden age is when Jesus steps back on the earth and sets up his kingdom and you don't die. Everything changes, right, from there. He has rewards for those that were doing his work. And everybody's like, well, what is his work? It's not just preaching the gospel, okay? I know the preachers will tell you that. Everybody needs to preach. No, it's being kind to others. It's helping those in need, widows and orphans and family members and neighbors and whatever you can do in your own little world. That's doing God's work. That's being kind. Like, don't worry about all the things. Don't store up all this crap, right? Things you can't take with you. And, you know, you can accumulate and then one day you die and then who gets it? Usually your family, and they sell it off. Unless you're real famous, then it becomes a museum, right? And then it's still falling apart. It's still falling apart. Everything will be gone. Everything you accumulated, it'll rust, it'll rot, it'll age and fall apart. So don't worry about all that stuff. Worry about more where you're at in this next age. Where are you going to be at? How close? Are you going to be able to walk with Jesus side by side with him and chat with him and laugh with him and tell jokes with him? Or are you going to be standing far off wishing you would have been more kind and more generous and more like him, right? Feeding people, doing things that he does, right? It's not going around and spreading the gospel. You don't even have to say one thing about spreading the gospel. If you live like that, people will automatically want to hang out with you and they'll want to know you. And they'll want to be like you. And all you're doing is being like him. You get where I'm coming from there? Yeah, they lie. It's going to be a big, huge lie. A real huge one. And a lot of people, even Christians, even pastors, they're all going to fall for it. A lot of it is based on fear. You know, and how are they going to explain away us gone, right? The people that are expecting to be taken away from the wrath of God. That is what the rapture is. He said he's not going to let his own go through the wrath of that 7 years. That's what the whole thing is. I mean, don't call it a rapture, call it being removed out of what's coming, the wrath of God. He's going to hide you away and shut the door and not let anyone else in, right? They're all the ones that don't get in the ark, so to speak, are going to go through all this. We are getting ready to do that. And then the aliens, aliens, we'll call them aliens. And they're going to say, yeah, you know what happened? Like, this is one scenario. Everybody's vibration changed. See, now you're of a higher vibration and you can't even see those people. They're still here, but you can't see them. You can't interact with them. You already vibrated above to a higher level. You are, this supreme being now, and you're at a higher level. And people are going to want to hear that. They want to be a higher vibrational level. Especially, don't give me that Jesus crap. I'm a higher vibrational level, right? Our creators are look at what they're doing. We're a higher, and all the Christians these people that were liars and everything, they're gone. Either that or they're going to say, oh, you guys, we couldn't interact with you. There was no hope for these people. So we beamed them up, Scotty. We beamed them out. We left all the high vibrational level people with the open mind. I mean, there's many other scenarios. I'm leaning more towards they're going to say they beamed us out. And don't worry about them. Their vibration level, and they were stupid and they believed a lie all their life. And now they're gone. We took care of them. We took them somewhere else. We're going to help them over there. Yeah, they're not all the way gone. Maybe there might be some hope where they are, and they'll learn the truth over there. Yeah, right, yeah. It's going to be something like that. Think about it. Pray about it. Don't take my word. This is just me talking about me. Think about it. That's right. All the good ones will stay. The high vibration ones that do all this cool stuff, right? Reiki and you name it, right? It's all bad. all bad. Yeah, Jeff kind of concerns me too, only because he's primed for the message that they're giving. Like, I understand that we didn't have what was due us, right? Everybody's been robbed of life. We slave away, they steal our money, they make everything high priced. We shouldn't have had to work our whole life like we did, but that's the way they set it up. Who set it up? Who set it up? Who set this up? The reptilians set this up. The same ones that you can research all the way back into the past. Every freaking society, the Nalgas, the ones in South America, the ones in the Bible, they're all the same. The dragons of England, the reptilians, right? They're the ones that set this all up. The blue bloods kept everybody in slavery. They're the ones that did that. And Trump isn't going to come along and disclose all this stuff and change our life for the better. It's going to seem like it. It's going to sound like it. Almost sounding like he's Jesus or something, right? I'm not sure who the Antichrist is, but you can read about the Antichrist. And I have ever since like the late 80s, all the way till today, I've been trying to figure out who this guy is, right? It could be the Pope, it could be this, it could be that, right? But then here comes a guy, and I thought it was Obama, but everybody loved Obama. But he had that evil thing with him, right? The gay stuff and everything. And I'm not saying gay's bad. They've messed with everybody's DNA, and that could be messed up. There's a lot of stuff messed up. Trust God, turn to him. He'll help you out of that, just like he helps drug addicts, he heals people. He'll help you out of that too. Like whatever's not natural, he'll help you out of. But you can't do it, right? You can't do it. So he's hoping that Trump turns it all around, and then we're going to have this age of the golden age, right? And you'll be rolling in dough and all this technology, flying around in UFOs, all this stuff. That sounds great. But what about having a different body where you're immortal and God giving you gifts that will never rot and nobody can steal them? You'll be able to travel at the speed of thought. You don't need a UFO. If you want to fly, you just fly. If you want to fly above the ground at light speed, fly above the ground at light speed. If you want to like zoom over the mountains and do all kinds of acrobatics, do it. You don't need a ship. There'll be so many things that we don't even know. We just know some of them, of what's coming. That's the true golden age. God said that he's going to be passing out crowns to people, and some people will take others' crowns. Not because they wanted to, it's because other people had opportunities to do something for maybe somebody that was destitute or hungry or whatever, and they didn't do it, and you stepped in and did it. You just took their crown. And then he says when he passes out the crowns, everybody's going to know whose crowns are whose, and if you took crowns or not, or if you gathered other people's crowns. And then all the people with crowns are going to throw them at his feet and say, we're not even worthy because of what you did for us. You saved us out of this that we're in, this, health problems and rot and crap that we're living in. Talk about a true golden age, right? A true golden age. Even if we have a golden age with Trump, you can't take it with you. You get to enjoy it for a minute, and then you have a heart attack and die, right? So what kind of golden age is that? How about 1,000-year reign with Christ on the earth in an immortal body, where you could do all these great, wonderful, super duper things? You can see all the light frequencies, the sound frequencies, the smells, everything. Like everything is wide open to you now. Absolutely. Like, I'm looking for that golden age. I don't even want another minute on this planet. Like, I don't even care if Trump does turn it around, you know. Sure, it might be nice for a minute, but I know it's not going to last long at all, if at all, if there is at all. Well, you guys, I thought I would weigh in on this and put my opinion. This is all my opinion. I would put my opinion out here and let you know that, you know, a lot of people, they've barely been in this kind of field for a couple of years, and then they're all these really, they're experts. You know, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but all I know is I've been around the world. I faced off demons. I faced off demons here with Jeff. Demonic possessed people. I'm what we call it, 3 for 3 on the demons. I win every time, but it wasn't me, it was Jesus, the Spirit in me that won. It wasn't me, but I knew what to say and do, and they knew that I was His. They can see that I am His. If you try to do what I'm doing with the demons and you're not His, they will chew you up and spit you out really quick. Better not go there if you don't have a relationship with Him. But if you do, step out boldly and call them out, kick them out. I'm serious. There is power in the blood. It's the blood. The power is the blood. The blood is what saved you. It's all the blood. You know, a lot of people, they say rebuke them, stuff like that. You know, like Jeff, he says, say Jesus' name. They will fall down and scream at the name of Jesus. Nothing you did, though. They're not afraid of you. They'll rip you a new a-hole, chew you up, strip you down, send you out running naked down the street, all scratched up. They have no respect for you. But they know who created them. They know what blood bought you. And if you accept that, they can't touch you. You'll walk blessed in your life. There'll be things that happen to you, but that's what builds your character. That's what makes you stronger. If everything was all hunky-dory, you would be a weak milquetoast person. But when you go through hardships and stuff like that, it actually, like, it's like, I think of it like a samurai sword, right? So when we're born, we're just a little clump of metal. And then through life, God sets you on fire, right? Put you in there and heat you up until you're freaking red hot. And then they pound on you, bang, bang, bang. And then they put you back in the fire and bang, 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 right? Until at the end of your life, if you're following God and He has molded you and pounded you and put you in the fire, and now you're the most beautiful sword, sharp, beautiful, sharp, ready to cut things up quick, strong, and beautiful and sharp. And that's what God molds you over your life. You turn into a person that could face off a demon or 2 or 3 or 10. No fear, no fear. If you've been walking with Him like I have for a long time, absolutely no fear. In fact, I don't even have a worry or a concern. Even if everything looks like it's going to hell in a handbasket around me, it's like standing in the ocean, waist deep, and the waves are hitting you. But when you have God, you're just standing there. Waves don't hurt you. They can hit you all they want, and it doesn't. You don't fall down. You take it. You can handle it. You can stand there. But if you don't have God, the sand will be coming out from under your feet. You'll be wavering and falling, and the big ones will crash you down, and you'll go under. And when you start becoming that beautiful thing that God made you, pretty soon you could face anything, and you know that He is good. Just like if your kid came to you, and when you're a kid, Or you have kids and they come to you and they're like, hey, I want this game. Do you tell them no? Get a job, whatever? No, do they ever come to you and ask, is the PG&E paid or the power bill paid? Are we going to have food this month? They never ask that stuff. They want the games and stuff. You'll do anything for your kid. You'll get them the best clothes, the best stuff. That's God. That's how he is with us. He takes care of you. You just have to trust him, just like we trusted. He said, be like a little kid. Look at little kids and see what they do. And be like that. Trust him like that. Joke with them. Have a sense of humor, have wonder, ask him questions, have a relationship. You will be blown away at that you could have a relationship like that. And he will start actually showing you and teaching you and talking to you. And the only way that you can know is Jeremiah 3:3. Call out to God. Test him. Especially right now. Test him, because we're getting ready to be tested like big time. But that's all I got. And I have the same problem. I had that my aunt was a witch. My aunt actually, one day we were sitting out here and she knows that she knows, right? And she always is trying to prove that her witchery is the right way and what I believed is wrong, right? And one day we were sitting out here and I was getting ready. We were going to go camping, looking for Bigfoot. And I don't know how she knew that. I didn't tell her. But I came out and was sitting outside talking with her. And she said, so you're going to go looking for Bigfoot tomorrow? And I looked at her. Yeah, I don't know how she knew, but yeah. She goes, you're just going to go walking right in their house and not ask them permission? It's like, it's not their house. She goes, that's their house, their front yard. Would you let them come over here? I'm told them, no, I don't. She said, well, maybe you should ask them for permission. So I'm like, hey, Bigfoot. She's like, no, don't do it with your speech. Say it in your mind. I looked at her. Whatever. Okay. So, in my mind, I'm like, hey, Bigfoot, I'm coming to go to your front room. I'm going to go to camping tomorrow. And can I have permission? And I heard a voice in my mind. There was two of them. One was a male, one was a female. And they started talking to me. And they said they would let me in if I let them in. I'm like, what? Like, if you let me in your house, I'll let you in my house. Like, how do they know that? Like, I pray all the time from property line to property line. Those things can't come on my property. So they would have to get permission. And they were actually willing to trade with me. Only they can't stop me from going over there, and I know that. But I can stop them from coming in here. And I told them, no, you can't come in my house. And this is all in my mind, okay? And I forgot all about my aunt. I'm tripping out that I hear voices in my head. And my aunt says, why did you tell him that? It's like, what? How do you know the conversation in my mind? Right? Yeah, it's demonic. Totally demonic. And there's clues. Enkidu. What was Enkidu? Go look up Enkidu and the description of Enkidu. See who his dad was. See who his mom was. That's exactly what Bigfoot are today. Exactly. Exactly. Wandering in the wilderness, all hairy, superpowers, right? That's them. Think about it. Pray about it. So my advice, if you don't know Jesus, get to know him. Call out to him. And pray about everything that you see from here on out. Even me. Go and ask God about if I'm telling you the truth or not. Don't trust anything or anyone at this point. Get on your knees and ask God for the truth, and he'll give it to you. That's exactly right, grand dude. Exactly. But I want everybody to do that. That's your homework. If you don't know, if you think Jesus ain't real, test him. Call out. If you're not close to him really, and you don't talk to him hardly at all, call out. If you see something going on and you don't understand, call out. Be careful in the days coming. Be really careful. Be weary. Stay praying about it. Don't jump right away on any bandwagon, okay? Except for the bandwagon to ask God. That is your bandwagon. There's a lot of stuff in Sodom and Gomorrah. Heck, there was angels that went over there to save Lot and his family, and all the people in there were demonic, and they wanted to have their way with these. They're like, hey, bring those guys out, those beautiful looking guys, bring them out here. Don't keep them locked up in there. He's like, no, you can't have those. Take my daughters. Like, what? The dude's willing to trade his daughters to save the angels. The angels didn't need saving. In fact, when they left, they blinded everyone and they walked right out of there. Like, read the story. It's interesting. It's very, very cool. Well, anyways, you guys, I got to rip. I got to get jetting out of here. I thought I would come on and give my 2 cents. And I want you to know I love you. I'm always praying for you. You guys stay squatchy, you know, or frothy. Like, hey, it's time. I'll see you soon.